Yo, what is inside your mind today? What up, guys? It is Indigo 777 inside your mind. Now, today, question of the day. So, I'm 100% sure many children, many adolescent teenagers are watching Stranger Things. If that, I don't know, possibly. I feel like it's catering to children at a certain extent. Now, I don't believe children should be watching this. I stand behind my opinion that children should not watch Stranger Things. And that is because it is going to give them a incorrect misinterpretation of the series. Now, this series has many different faces. It has many different subjects, from the government to Dungeons and Dragons, a different dimension that is still on our dimensional plane, on our realm. There's no other way to put it. I mean, they got demons in this thing. They got portals. They're opening up portals. So essentially, we got a government lab opening up a portal to hell. Oh, ain't that funny? Yeah. Except it's here in America, Hawkins, Indiana. Now, there are a lot of things about this TV show. A lot. Oh man, there are so many things about this show that could be broken down to the correct audience, of course. Because if you're talking about this to children, yeah, a child's not gonna get it. I mean, hey, some children might be thinkers. They might think. And that's what I'm doing. I'm planting the seeds of thoughts. So children, teenagers, adults, elderly, whoever has the ability to think will be able to utilize my skills of thinking as well. Because I am thinking of all these things and I'm kind of laying it out on the table. Almost essentially getting all the puzzle pieces. You just gotta have the intention to put the puzzle together. Because if you give two shits about the puzzle, like if you really don't care if the puzzle goes together, then, we'll just sit here forever. Well, you will. Well, whoever's not doing the puzzle will sit with the puzzle forever, and they'll just be, ignorantly doing whatever they do. But for those of us who actually know the puzzle, know there's a puzzle, and know that there are pieces to the puzzle, then it's those people who are going to be, to a certain extent, they're going to be the ones who are in charge. They're going to be almost like living, well, not in charge necessarily, but they're going to have their own skills and abilities. So if you can think about situations like I can, analyzing, focusing on things, making understandable processes that make sense to you logically, and even for somebody like me, logically, to a certain extent, I can comprehend that certain emotions are required, like love. Love is required in order to be a good individual. It makes you not only better in terms of a relationship, it makes you better in terms of having friends, knowing who are your friends. That's another reason why I Stranger Things, they put so many tidbits of information of real life, true experience. Now, this could be taken out of context, but Stranger Things definitely is Stranger Things. They're talking about stuff that is outside of the realm of normal people's reality. Now, I'm not normal people. Now, I'm almost positive normal people won't be listening to these, because the stuff that I'm talking about is not what normal people give a shit about. And it's kind of true. Normal people, they care about football and, doing their hair and just things that don't have a purpose. Now, okay, you do your hair, you look good, cool. There are things that have no purpose. And this goes back to what I was saying in my other video about learning to know what value is. Value is extremely vital when you're thinking, because value will give you the ability to lay out your process, to lay out your methodology. Because when you know what is valuable and what is not, it's almost essentially like doing a top 10. Number 1 is the most valuable. So you're going to put everything that you like at number 1. And you're going to put everything that you don't like at number 10. That's the same thought process. When you learn what value is and how to incorporate it into your daily life, you will be able to, if you never had the understanding of value before, you will essentially change your entire life. If you have no understanding of value, and then you begin to understand what value is, it's then that you will begin to change. You will be a different individual, because you will begin to not hang out with people who don't value you. You will begin to understand that, men should treat you with a certain level of respect if you are valuing yourself, if you have honesty and respect and honor, all these things that, make an individual strong. Every race, both genders, everything involved, everything has a good side and a bad side. Now, if we're all living in our good side, then crime wouldn't exist. Hatred wouldn't exist. No kind of negative action would exist. Senseless killing wouldn't exist. Crime wouldn't exist. Now, why? Why? Because if you're a child and you love playing and eating ice cream, why are you going to go kill the child next to you? Exactly. You wouldn't. Because you're a child. You are simplistic and happy, and everything about everything that you understand is spontaneous and new and amazing to you, if you have a good childhood. Now, that is what I'm trying to, relay the thought. A child is still a child in its purest, most natural form. Once it starts growing up past the age of 8, then they start knowing that they're doing things. So when they do bad things, then they know. They know if, they're going to go stab another kid. They know that that knife is going to make red stuff come out and that kid is going to bleed. They know that something bad is going to happen. So if they do that, they know that they're doing wrong. No kind of negativity would exist on this earth if people knew that they were doing negative things consciously. If people knew consciously that they were doing negative things, hurting people's feelings, making people feel less of themselves, just essentially not being a good individual, not being good to the world, then all you're doing is you're being the negative in the world. So if you're not being the positive in the world, then you're being the negative. Sorry, there's no middle ground here. You're either a good person who does good things, or you're a bad person who does bad things. Now, if you're a bad person who does bad things, then you should probably stop. No, it's fine. The chances of a, quote unquote, bad person listening to my content it could be high, it could be low. I don't know. Now, I will gladly talk, I will gladly converse with anybody who is positively charged. Now, if you are an individual who has good thoughts, they want good things to happen in their life, they're making attempts to do things to create a good, positive empire, that is an individual whom I would cooperate with, because they have a purpose, and not only is there an intention behind that purpose, but it's a positive intention. Positive intention is power. Just as negative intention is power. That's why evil people are evil. That is why evil things happen. Negative intention causes negative action. Positive intention causes positive action. Now, in Stranger Things, why do these children that have no understanding of speech, any kind of relativity to what you and I know, school, all this stuff taught to us, they weren't taught any of that. They were taught what the scientists wanted them to know. And what did the scientists want them to know? Well, question. What did the scientists want to know? The scientists wanted to know what kind of abilities these children gained from not having that kind of stimuli. And I've went into this before. What if a child was not raised? They didn't have, parents that were bad. They didn't have, the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s. They had none of that. All they did was they ate and they grew up. And then they were old enough and conscious enough to think properly for themselves. Imagine the kind of thoughts that they would have. Imagine the kind of things they would be able to do. Ta-da! What do you think Stranger Things is telling us? Why do you think this girl can make stuff levitate? She can lift up stuff for her mind. She can do things mentally. She's so mentally capable. She can remote view just by closing her eyes and going into her mind in that darkness and focusing on an image in her mind. She can find somebody else somewhere else. This right here is the ability to see with the unseen, to see inside of your mind, to be anywhere at any time. This is the pinnacle. Stranger Things is the pinnacle of information, but it's dumbed down because it's a TV show. It's made for you to watch it, to be like, ooh, ah. That's the point. Now, if you can understand that, and I understand that, then we can get along. Because now we both know what we're watching, what we're seeing is the truth. It's really happening. But it's given a Hollywood flair. It's given that scene. Now, I know that there are definitely other people out there who see what I see in Stranger Things. And not just because it's, a TV show and it's, cool and all that. I'm saying the real information that is there, what we're seeing. They're talking about us. Talking about our feelings and emotions and thoughts and how it guides us. How our intentions are strong. Oh man, we got to get into this, guys. It is Indigo 777 inside that mind. It has been a great video. I hope that you guys will be back for the next. See you then.